This video is a follow-up after using Husky floor liners for the last year. Well, it's actually been 14 months since I started using them in my 2023 40th anniversary Forerunner. Originally, I was going to do a 6-month follow-up video, but I've been slacking off. Now, in the original first impressions video, link above, I talked about the nice snug fit of the floor liners, but the terrible first impressions I got with the cargo liner. I'll address that later in this video. In the original video, I wondered if Husky floor liners were as good as Weathertech floor liners. I pointed to my experience with sagging sidewalls after using Weathertech liners after a year or so. This led me to believe that the less expensive liners were a better value. And Husky liners are 30% cheaper. Okay, so getting back on track. The Husky liners I tested were purchased at full price, therefore this is not a biased review. Here they are 14 months later. Now, I didn't bother cleaning them for this video because I want to show them to you in their native environment. They're a little dirty, but once you wipe away the mud, the dust, and the leaves, and even coffee, they look just as good as they did the day I installed them. Overall, these liners have done an excellent job at protecting my vehicle. I don't even worry about people wiping their feet before they get in my car. Now, I did have an unfortunate incident where my daughter spilled a smoothie into this area here, but that area doesn't have any coverage. Now to recap some of my original concerns when I first installed them in October of 2023. Back then I mentioned the hard plasticky feel of the liners. I noticed that they weren't as soft or as pliable as Weathertech mats. This harder material made them a little bit more slippery when wet, but not slippery enough to be problematic. In the original video, I also pointed out areas that I felt would be the first to show wear due to the amount of contact they'd be receiving on a daily basis. I am happy to report though that I see no signs of wear or sagging just yet. So overall, I can say these Husky floor liners are as good as any Weathertech liners I have owned. Now the same cannot be said for the cargo liner. In the original video, I was disappointed with the cargo liner. It came rolled up, which makes sense for packaging, but it kept that shape for months. The liner also has a lip that caused it to snag and fall out whenever I was loading or unloading the cargo area. Now eventually I did find a fix. I cut holes into the liner so that I could use the cargo hooks. With the hooks secured in place, the cargo liner is anchored, and it keeps it from curling up on the sides. But you can still see that it doesn't quite fit flush. Another more minor problem that I had was that the logo badge had fallen off in transit, like the adhesive had just given up. And I joked in the first video that I would lose it, which I did. I have no idea where it went. So overall, I will say that the cargo liner, it's doing its job, but it's not something that I would buy again. In closing, I'll say that the floor liners were great, but I'd recommend something else for the cargo liner. Hey, it's this guy. Thank you for watching, and be sure to support my channel.